It was probably around early January. I trained Nancy usually twice a week, give and take some holidays, so there were some absences over the holidays. But I did notice around the beginning of January that Nancy had lost a noticeable amount of weight. I mean, it wasn't just like a couple of pounds. I could tell that she was definitely much trimmer. And that's when I said to her, I said, "You look like you've lost weight." And she explained to me that you guys had been cooking for her. And since I also trained Catherine, I was kind of aware in general about what you were up to with the macrobiotic kind of diet. And I said, "Wow, that's really amazing. Like, how long have you been doing this?" Because it was really quite dramatic. But even more dramatic than that is Nancy and I have been working together for a number of years, 3, 4?
3 years.
And I train people in, all ages, all ranges of abilities. And when Nancy, I think, first started doing Pilates, you were coming off of some sort of medication and you were dealing with pain. So there was only a certain amount that I could challenge Nancy. But she's definitely gotten stronger over the years, and we've worked hard on certain aspects of her training, like balance, and making sure that she's going up and down stairs and walking, that she'd feel steady. But then around January as well, I mean, I noticed that, in the years that we've been working together, she's been getting stronger. But then in the same time that like this weight loss had happened, I started throwing other exercises at her that we used to do, and she would have some trouble with them. But now she was doing them, and it was like a different person. I mean, her range of motion improved so much, in her legs and her hips, and what she could do. And actually, I think she was just more comfortable with it. She was sharing with me how, I hope people leave the studio feeling good. I don't know that Nancy always felt that way, but I think she's been feeling better lately. So it's been really quite astonishing.
It's true. I used to be very sore when I left my Pilates training session, and now I feel good when I leave. Which people would say they felt good after Pilates, and I think that's very strange. But the other thing is, not only was there absence of pain, which was huge, but also I began to get more confidence, because I knew that pain wasn't an issue. So I began to be more willing to try things. I've just felt more comfortable, as you said.
I mean, it's really been quite dramatic. Even the way she moves between exercises is easier and more fluid. So we've been doing more work in the amount of time that we trained together than we were normally able to do. So it's quite exciting to see it happen.
Wow, I didn't expect.
And it's really impressive to me, because you wouldn't expect to see that much from a change in diet. And I'm just sort of blown away by how much what we take in really can impact, how we feel. So I started quizzing Nancy. So what would you eat today? What's your normal weekly menu like? And how do you feel on it? And so it's really been eye-opening for me as well.
So it's less pain, more energy, and more confidence. All of those things are definitely happening.
And the weight loss is more of a cosmetic thing, but I mean,
no, that's huge, actually.
And it didn't seem, I mean, from how you talked about it, it didn't seem like it was something like that was what you set out to achieve. It just kind of came as a byproduct.
It is a goal. I mean, I wanted to get back down to a lower weight. I know I feel more comfortable, but I didn't know that I would have more energy, or I didn't know I'd have no pain.
Has it felt like a sacrifice, though?
No, because the food is delicious. The food is really good.
That's what I think is really interesting, because I know that you've done spas and things, and when I've done them, I always feel like very good food, but little itty bitty pieces of it, and then I think to myself, well, no wonder I should be way less than I do, because I eat much more than they're giving me right here. But it didn't sound like you felt like you were only getting a little bit to eat.
No. The food is filling. It's filling, and I don't feel hungry between meals. I was taking prednisone and naproxen for my arthritis, and I developed an ulcer, and it became H. pylori infected. So at that point, Catherine told me I couldn't take the naproxen anymore. I had gotten off the prednisone, but I was still taking the naproxen, which is a non-steroid anti-inflammatory drug. And so I had to stop it very suddenly. And that's when the pain surged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was tapering off because I was doing exercising more, and and I was getting used to living without it. But to have it disappear, to have the pain disappear, is the amazing thing. It wasn't as bad, in the last year as it was when right after I stopped taking the medication, but it was still present. So to have no pain at all, any time is just it's like a miracle. Very welcome miracle.
Mm-hmm.